So how do we usually start these things off?
Retire.
This episode 965 of the CNN news broadcast.
Episode blank of the...
It's like episode 9.
Yeah, episode... No, I'm sorry, it's episode 4. It's always episode 4.
It's always episode 5.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's episode 5, and even though...
Always episode 5.
5 episodes might be what's been released so far, because somebody hasn't released any of them yet.
You are more than welcome, if you want to do it, to knock yourself out and do that shit. I am tired of trying to deal with this computer. It crashes constantly. There's a good chance it's going to crash during recording. Like, I was playing D&D on Wednesday, and it just kept shitting out. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. Might be some weird background noise in this episode. I refuse to cut the air conditioner off on principle because it's warm as shit outside.
Oh yeah,
I will try and here. I'll try and cut that audio all out in the background. But if not, then just fucking treat it like an asthma video. That dulcet air conditioner tone.
ASMR is just, it's weird. Like,
it's no weirder than Monster Girl porn. Just jack off to it, Zach.
Yeah, well, I'm sure people do that to ASMR, but like some of it's fucking bizarre. Like,
dude, I've seen ASMR videos where it's women just like moving their toes between oil. Yeah, people definitely get off to ASMR videos.
One of the more like weird ones I saw a video on was like jealous boyfriend ASMR. It's just this dude role playing only his side of a conversation between him and like an imaginary person, right? It's just his side of the conversation, and he's just whispering the whole time. It's fucking weird. It's like, I thought you were just gonna hang out with me. I'm not jealous. You're just being crazy. And stuff like it, dude. It's weird.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Dumb.
I've heard some dumb shit in my life, but that takes the cake. And as much as I'd love to keep talking about asthma, you'd given me a great segue into something I wanted to talk about, which is jealous boyfriends and shit.
Okay.
So we didn't touch that much on the Jared, Heidi, Holly situation the last time we recorded.
Yeah, I don't think we did at all.
I don't even know if we talked about it.
We didn't.
Yeah. So for anyone listening to this, which is probably 2 people, and in the future, you could just Google what the fuck happened. There was a YouTuber named Pro Jared. Zach watched some of his stuff, I believe.
Oh yeah, dude, he was one of the like original people I really got into when I first started like getting into the YouTube stuff.
Kind of like how he got into Holly. But anyway, so he's a pretty big YouTuber. I don't know how many subs he had. I never watched his stuff. His face always weirded me out.
Before the shit went down, he was up to 1 million.
Okay, so the short of this story is he got caught cheating on his wife, and all this shit went down on the internet. He was married to a woman named
Heidi O'Connor or O'Doyle. It's something
O'Farrell.
That might be it. It's not Heidi O something.
All you have to know is he was married to Heidi.
She's a cosplayer.
He cheated with a woman named Holly, and I constantly get mixed up between those two because of how similar their names sound. And yes, Heidi is a cosplayer. So is Holly. I believe Holly's a cosplayer.
Yeah, she's like big into the D&D scene.
Yeah. Now Holly was known for being married to Rubber Ross, from Game Grumps.
Mm-hmm.
They divorced, I believe, last year.
Yeah, it's like last year before, something like that. It's been I think it's been over a year since. So.
Yeah, and the short of this is like, so found out Jared cheated on his wife with Holly, which now people are speculating is what led to her and Ross getting divorced. More importantly, well, I won't say more importantly because they're both equally serious things. Found out that Jared had been texting pictures
he had a Tumblr. He had a Tumblr devoted to like he and fans nuding to each other. Yeah, no, it was a Tumblr. Like the title was something like God. The title of the Tumblr was called something like "We're All Sinners."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Look, all I know is I saw the one picture of him dressed like a Sailor Scout. I was like, nope, I'm good. That's all I need.
Oh no, dude,
I went on Twitter.
I've seen that dude's dick. I've seen it. Fucking thank you, Twitter, because
So-
I've seen Pro Jared's dick now.
Okay, so keep in mind that the bulk of this went down, I'd say about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks
It's been
ago.
about
And I'm bringing this up
It's been 2 weeks or so.
I'm bringing this up for two reasons. One, because Zach and I used to be in the Let's Play scene, and Pro Jared's name got tossed around a lot, along with Holly, to some extent, more so Ross. And they were pretty well known in that scene. But I'm also bringing it up because they were trending on Twitter the day before yesterday again, which is what I wanted to discuss about this. I had to lay the groundwork for everything.
And Holly broke her silence. And
so to summarize the ending of this real quick, before we talk about Holly, let me finish what we were saying.
Oh, okay.
What I was saying here
that's where you hop in.
So so Jared did what every person who's famous on YouTube is accused of doing something. He did the dumb thing, which was actively respond to people. I don't know why people don't shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, go the JonTron route. He's the only person that never said anything.
Yeah, like I saw.
Well, that's not true. He said a lot of racist shit, but that's not related to anything else.
Like a week and a half ago or something, Jared posted like another one of his statements, just talking about like, this is kind of my side of the story, and it was like, it was a big.
You don't
image.
have a side, bruh.
And basically how lawyers are involved in everything. But
yes,
yeah, that's the only thing I've heard
Jared
from him.
responded. Holly kept quiet, and then, as the internet collective memory tends to do, it slowly subsided with a couple ripple effects. The funniest one, I think, is that his subreddit, if you go to it now, is completely shut down. It's been archived. The mods have a post at the top of it saying the first sentence is, "Ever since we found out Pro Jared's a bitch, we've been working to clean this shit up."
Oh, dude, like,
so like
when this shit went down, his own mods locked him out of his own subreddit, and it turned into a trash fire, like meme fest.
It is now a JonTron reposting subreddit, apparently. But so anyway, all this went down, and like I was saying, the internet collective memory slowly subsided. Went on to the next big thing, which is the Mari. Who the hell is the guy who is trying to sleep with straight guys?
James Charles.
James Charles and all that shit. We'll talk about that some other time, because I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about the beauty side of YouTube. All I know is this person sounds like a scumbag.
Because we're not pretty enough, Josh. We'll never be pretty enough.
I'm fucking beautiful. I could easily be a beauty YouTuber if I wanted. Anyway, I've never been so insulted in my life.
Good.
You tell him, honey.
So, moving on. I get on Twitter the other day, right? And this was the day we were originally going to record, and I see that they're trending again. I'm like, why the fuck are they trending again? Somebody must have responded to something, and I see that Holly put her statement out. And I went through, and I didn't read it that day.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like a lot. It was a big Twitter thread, and then I think she kind of compiled the whole thing into like onto something or other. I think it was like a Reddit post or something like that. She compiled in like a couple different places you can find it.
There's a huge Twitter chain like you can read, and the short of this is that her response was, I'll actually read the first paragraph she put out, because the first paragraph pretty accurately summarizes everything else. This is from Holly, which is the wife of Ross, slept with Jared. Kind of sounds like Game of Thrones titles. Holly, wife of Ross, sleeper of Jared. We'll talk about Game of Thrones too. But anyway.
Oh yes, I want to hear your thoughts on that. But
I wonder what was more satisfying, sex with Holly or the finale of Game of Thrones? What do you think? I'm going to go with the finale of Game of Thrones. So, Holly said, for the past year, I've been trying to help someone I care about leave an abusive relationship. I'm telling my story with the receipts I can legally share, with no hate and no vindictiveness. I just need to bring the truth to light regarding Atelier Heidi and Pro Jared. So, how can you go ahead and share this stuff saying there's no vindictiveness when nothing but vindictiveness would come out of this? If you wanted there to be no vindictiveness, you wouldn't have slept with her fucking husband.
Well, apparently, like, I don't, there was like also claims that it was like supposed to be a open relationship or something like that. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say I sat and read everything word for word, but I did give it a pretty thorough skim.
Oh, I haven't read everything. I read her stuff, and I started going through Holly's.
I read through the
Jared's.
I read through the Twitter chain, like that Holly did. And I read like Jared's statements and everything. Like I said, can I recite it word for word? No, but I did. Like I read it. So, but I don't know. It's one of the. Before Holly's statement, I was pretty like in the camp of Jared's a scumbag, and he still probably is, especially if that whole like sitting trading nudes with like fans that were like 16 at the time. I'm still in the camp of Jared's kind of a scumbag for that, but then I'm also like, okay, well if any of this stuff that Holly is saying is true, then that changes things. I don't know. It's fucking who do you believe? And we'll probably never know the actual real story, like hard confirmed, you know.
I don't know if we have the right to ever know the whole story.
Probably. Oh no, we don't. We don't have the right, but you know, doesn't mean you can't be curious.
The way I look at it is this: she slept with a married woman's husband. That automatically puts both of them in the scumbag territory for me. Now, I know there's the thing that was going around saying that they had an open relationship that Holly disputed, and Holly could be disputing that to save face and all this, but I find it hard to believe that Heidi would have tried to take advantage of this situation to gain internet points when her fan base isn't even as large as Holly's, let alone Jared's. So you're poking two larger dragons to try and get internet points out of something when both of them could have proof to like shoot it down. I don't know. Like if I had read that some of the pictures that got sent out were like the age of consent was proper and all that. And like, let's give Jared the benefit of the doubt here for 1 minute and say that sure, age of consent's fine. He sets up a Tumblr to fucking trade nude pics with fans. All of them are of legal age. That still doesn't make it any less fucking creepy. Like, Tumblr in general is a fucking cesspool. And I don't know, like, none of this situation fucking sits right with me
like,
at all.
Some of the pictures that like the screen caps of messenger conversations between like Heidi and Jared and everything that she posted in that long Twitter chain, it doesn't make make Heidi look all that great. It kind of makes her come off as a crazy bitch. How real or like legitimate they are is also like, you know, got to be in question as well. Like that shit can be easily photoshopped, you know, but
yeah,
it's like, I don't think here's the thing. I don't think anybody in this situation is squeaky clean. Like at all.
You're probably right.
I don't
except Ross. God bless Ross.
Oh God, Ross is an angel. He's a saint, goddammit. I think of the three,
he'll get the Irish voice.
Like I think of the three, he's probably, I don't know, he had the biggest following, and like in less than 6 hours he dropped 100,000 subscribers, which was record breaking. Like the
record breaking until this other James Charles or whatever
the James Charles shit, apparently that was happening almost at the exact same time. Like,
yeah, but like, dude, his sub drop is one of the most astounding things I've ever seen. Like,
I think the James Charles
I was watching that shit.
It like, I think James Charles thing broke into like normie media. Like, I think that's the thing that like everyone is talking about. I don't think the Jared thing broke into like regular media like the James Charles stuff did.
No, because like the thing that we constantly forget is just how fucking big YouTube is, and like how many different subsects and like varieties of things there are to do on there. Because honestly, all I stick to on YouTube are my movie channels, my game channels, my one random guy who lives in the South and talks about guns channel because he's fucking hilarious. And
is it one of those that is like he's being completely serious, but you're watching, you're like, this dude is funny. Like,
No, yeah, I can't remember his fucking
was
name.
it the one
I
where he
found
was
his...
fucking out in the fucking woods in a bed, shooting through a blanket?
Yes, in the rain, wearing the
Yeah.
SpongeBob pajamas. I linked you guys to that video. His channel's
that.
great. Yeah, his channel is informative as hell. Like, the man knows what he's talking about. I may not know half of what he's fucking talking about in terms of firearms, but I enjoy watching people who know what they're talking about, which is why I like Kurzgesagt. It's why I like Veracitum. It's why I like all of those channels.
You gotta watch Wisecrack, man. If you've gotta watch Wisecrack.
I think I have seen Wisecrack.
If you're into philosophy at all, that is your thing. Philosophy of movies and shows is usually what they focus on, but
yeah. But getting back to what we were talking about with all this, like, we forget how big that shit is. And like, I knew people, I had coworkers that would watch like the beauty channels on YouTube, and even the smaller channels were like 1 and 2 million subscribers. It is insane how big that side of YouTube is. And just, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I listened to in the background like a Philip DeFranco video that Mario was watching, and she explained a lot of it to me. And I just, when I was at work, I would just like poke around and look at the like the Social Blade statistics for the channel, and just like, my God, like, you have people that work for a decade to get 1 million subscribers for their channel. Some people work a decade to get 100,000 for their channel. This dude lost 5 times that because of this, and then started gaining it back.
Yeah, he fucking upticked. It started going back up again.
It's insane. It's absolute insanity. But I don't want to get too much into that, just because I don't know the specifics of it.
I've got fucking no skin in that game. I don't make up. Misty doesn't make up.
So anyway, moving on from YouTube drama bullshit. Let's talk about, is there anything you want to talk about, Zach?
I beat Katana Zero.
I'm getting my links in order. Oh yeah, how's that?
It really, really good overall. Like, super positive experience. So everyone I've ever heard, like, since the game came out, like, talk about it, they always described it as a 5 to 6 hour game, give or take. That game took me like 3 weeks to get through. Because
that's because you suck at games.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. But
little known fact, Zach is the worst gamer of all time. He holds the Guinness record.
It's true. Look me up. I think I described it last time when I was talking about it more in depth, but
you did.
You know, it's the one.
It's like Cyberpunk Hotline Miami.
Yeah, like one, you get hit, you die, you start that level back from the beginning. You know, infinite retries on that level, yada yada yada. So, I'd get through like a couple levels. Maybe one would be extra frustrating. It'd take me a little longer, and then I would just like turn the game off because I'm like, okay, that was I don't fucking want to play this game anymore after that. So I just set it down and play it some more the next day. So I did it in pieces. So it took me a lot longer to beat it than most people probably did. But it was a really positive experience. Katana Zero was fucking sick. It leaves off for like a second game. So I'm looking forward to like more of that fucking beautiful pixel art and everything. Great soundtrack. I hope you get to play it at some point. I'll if it ever pops up on sale,
I probably will.
Know.
I probably will. My problem is playing the Switch in general. Like, when the Switch was first announced and I first bought it, like, I would lay in bed and I would play it and it'd be great. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I can lay around and play whatever I want. It's great. And then slowly I went back to just using my phone for shit like that. Like, I don't really find time to play the Switch. I don't find a lot of time to play games in general right now.
I'm kind of the same way.
I've stalled out on Days Gone. Like, I would like to finish it, but that game didn't really pull me in enough starting to like want to get me to drive to finish it. So I need to try and work back into that. Comically enough, the thing I've been playing the most lately is I started playing Fortnite again.
Oh, really?
I was playing it with Junin for a while, and that was fun. Like, we were doing the Team Rumble thing, which is like basically team deathmatch. And then they added the end game, like the Infinity War game mode again, and I played a little bit of that, not a lot. And then the Battle Pass came out for this year, and I was like, fuck it. I bought it for Junin, and like I picked it up so like we could work on things together. And the funny thing is he got fucking grounded until the school year's over and can't even play his fucking system. I've been going through the Battle Pass by myself.
Oh,
and
Junie done did fucked up at school.
Yeah, he did. So I picked up the Battle Pass, and like on and off I would play it, and it was okay. And then they added a John Wick game mode, which was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a modified version of Bounty Hunter. And like I played that, and they've been constantly putting in like limited time game modes to kind of keep people interested. And the Battle Pass seems a lot more accessible than it was before. And this one's all like, I won't say completely, but there's like a heavy 80s like retro wave theme to it. So obviously that appeals to me. And yeah, I don't know. It's been fun kind of hopping in. I'll play like 1 or 2 matches a day, and that's it. That's really all I felt like playing. I've been in more of a mood to watch things than to play things right now.
I haven't really seen like Fortnite in the limelight as much as I used to, but I haven't, like, because Apex Legends came out, and that was the new hotness for like 4 months or something. But then apparently,
I'm actually going to talk about Apex Legends, not for long, but
then I heard that
it's something that popped up.
Heard
yesterday.
that Apex Legends has kind of started to kind of fall off a little bit.
That's actually exactly what I was going to talk about.
Well, one reason I heard was that they aren't paying people to play it as much anymore, so
yeah,
it started to lose popularity. But I guess Fortnite is still going,
there was
right?
a spike.
Going strong?
There was a downward spike in Apex players like about 2 months ago. Actually, not. I'd say maybe about a month ago, and they attributed that to the Battle Pass that they put out not doing really well. The thing that a lot of people said was a detriment to Apex was it was really difficult to unlock things, and the skins really weren't worth unlocking for the Battle Pass.
Yeah,
they weren't that unique.
Like, what would you like with this character, but camo this character? Like,
yeah, like at least with Fortnite, you can say like when you unlock a skin, it's unique.
mm-hmm.
Like, then they have different variations of them. And so anyway, I'd seen that Apex started to drop in player base, and I was like, well, that's expected. I mean, even Fortnite dropped in players when it first spiked and then started going down. And then a couple days ago, I read that like it's plummeting, like on the Twitch streams. And like you said, it's because they're not paying people to play it. Apex is not a bad game. It has a very good core mechanic there, but I don't feel like it was ever suited to be something that was going to be permanent. Like, I mean, even Fortnite is going to eventually, like, decline and die off. I will eat my words if in 10 years this thing still has, like, legs going and is pulled off, like, sort of a Minecraft level rebirth.
Fortnite is the new WoW. Just lasts for another 13 years.
13 years down the road, we get vanilla Fortnite.
Vanilla Fortnite. I think a big thing that helps Fortnite along with it's super accessible and approachable. Like, it's kind of like cartoony, so that helps with the youngins. But like, I don't know, it's simple. This gun is better than this gun because blue is better than gray, and then like orange is better than everything. So I found this orange one, and it's really good. But like, I played, I don't know, 3 or 4 matches of Apex, and it's like, now pick up this gun. Now it did the shit like what was it? PlayerUnknown Battleground. It's like, now put a scope on it. This is a better scope. And I was just like, this is fucking complicated. It is way more complicated.
That was my problem with fucking Blackout. Like, Blackout wasn't fun to me because there was so much shit to try and maintain in it.
Yeah, like I'm having to like micromanage menus and fucking items and shit. Whereas Fortnite is just, this gun is better than this gun. Hold down to press down, hold down and like switch that gun out. All right, you have a new gun. Time to go. Fucking reload. Throw some ammo down for your buddy. Like, it's simple and it's fun.
I will stand by this statement until it's either not true anymore or people just stop playing Fortnite. I think one of the biggest reasons people play that game and still play it with the popularity that it has is because it is one of the few games I can think of where if you post something in the subreddit or on Twitter and Epic sees it and they think it's a good idea, there's a good chance in 2 or 3 months they're going to fold it into the game. Like, it's the most brilliant idea ever for a game, because you've essentially taken all of your R&D and put it into the public trust and just sat there and go, all right, guys, you see what that guy just drew as a skin? We're going to put that in the game. We're going to give it to him. We're going to credit his name somewhere on the map, give him like 5,000 V-Bucks. He's just done all of the design work for us. The new game mode they have in here right now it's really fucking weird. It doesn't involve shooting. Like, it's really difficult to describe this game mode. You basically power slide along a map that was created by another player, because they have creative mode in this now. And you remember the dance grenades?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the dance grenades. Did you ever get to use the impulse grenades?
The ones that bounce you? Yeah.
That push you away.
Yeah.
So you have dance grenades and impulse grenades. And when you slide along the ground, you color the tiles. And if somebody goes over your tile, it puts it as their color.
Oh, gotcha.
And you're collecting coins.
Like a Splatoon kind of thing. You're trying to cover the
kind of. You're not really fighting people, like doing damage. You're just sliding along this map.
Okay.
And it's like a preset course, but they have challenges associated with it. And it's almost like a weird Tony Hawk vibe to it. Like you can unlock a skateboard back bling and different skins for it.
Huh.
But this game mode was completely designed in creative by a player. And they just thought it was so good that they'd make it a limited time mode.
Man, sounds like they need to get into get onto that forum and suggest that Epic fix their Epic store. Maybe they'll listen there.
Which is a great segue into what I was going to talk about next, which is the fucking Epic store.
Oh, it's bad. I'm assuming you heard about all the shit with the sale, right?
Yeah, and how developers like the Vampire Masquerades people like pulled their game out because
shit.
Epic never fucking told them that it was a 50% discount.
And they're like, our game is gonna be $60. You just devalued our game. Did you hear about the shit in fucking like Russia? They did.
What about Russia?
Okay, so
there's a lot of shit that happens in Russia.
Okay, I think it was like Vampire the Masquerade, right? It's gonna have like all these like this international release, right? Well, they reduced the price in Europe, fucking Canada, America, right? But they reduced it the exact same way in Russia, and $10 off in Canada, Europe, America is not it's $10 is not the $10 off is not the same in Russia, and it equaled out to that game pre-order for that game being like $5 there. Like,
what?
They fucked up the math. They just did a general reduce, and they didn't compensate for the exchange rate and everything in Russia. So it was like $5, the equivalent of like $5 in Russia. They fucked it up real bad, and the Epic Store doesn't have a cart. You have to single purchase everything, and it's just so much of it.
They also block your account if they find you buying too many games.
Yeah, they fucking block your account. You have to talk to a person to get them to fix it.
Also, there is a whole subreddit called Fuck Epic.
Oh, I'm sure.
And one of the things someone posted was Epic accidentally, and I'm air quoting here, you can't see it because we're just talking through a microphone, accidentally gave another player's personal information, like all of it. Purchase history, address, fucking IP address.
They Bethesda'd that shit. Oh no!
Now, here's the best part of this. They sent the player whose information they illegally gave away an email apologizing and promising to do better in the future.
Oh, God, I hadn't heard about that.
That's all they fucking did. How in the fuck can you have the same company that works on Fortnite, that is adamant about player response, listening to what they want, and trying to adapt it in as best as possible, create the Epic Game Store, which is literally the most Isley spaceport of game stores right now.
Oh, it's so bad.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than the Epic Game Store. And what sort of goodwill do you think you're garnering with the PC gaming base
You're not.
by taking all of these fucking, like, exclusive deals? Look, console gamers can be petty. We can argue with each other, talk about PlayStation being better than Mega Man, Microsoft, and all this shit. It doesn't matter. PC gamers, on the other hand, they will straight up spite you for decades. I know people that won't play Bethesda games because of the way they treated Redguard.
Oh, fucking.
That shit came out in like 94. Like,
Or how Bethesda fucking basically took away the fun of modding. And just fucking, like, the modders who have been fixing Bethesda games for years, and they're just like, alright, we're not gonna let you mod anymore. Fuck you, pay for it. Pay for our mods.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand what the hell Epic is doing with this game store idea. I don't get it. Like, it's like EA's just sitting there on the West Coast going, all right, someone's taking the flack away from us for a little bit. It's cool. We're going to go work on this Star Wars game. I don't understand it. But moving away from Epic, because we could spend a whole fucking episode talking about Epic. A perfectly good segue talking about console gamers. Man, this whole episode just kind of flows together right now.
I would like to vote that instead of calling it a Segway, we should call it a bird scooter. Let's take a nice bird scooter over to this. That bird scooter's
disagree.
over.
We're gonna lime scooter over.
Oh, lime? Is that
the
another
next
one? I've only
segment?
ever heard of bird.
No, I like the lime ones. That's what I use because they're taller. We have those are the green and white ones. We have those all over the city up here.
Gotcha. Anyway, your
Anyway,
lime scooter.
So, did you hear about this Microsoft Sony bullshit, like teaming up for the next generation or whatever?
I heard
or like a partnership
like
deal
today. I think I heard it on like a podcast talking about it a little bit, but like I didn't get a whole lot of information.
There's not a lot to go on right now, but the general belief is that it's going to be Microsoft and Sony sort of trying to cooperate on a like collaborative cloud platform for multiplayer purposes, which honestly, this is what Sony needs to do. Microsoft they've been down for this for years. And honestly, Microsoft, we've had this conversation before. We actually talked about this ages ago on fucking Outside the Box. But Microsoft needs this because they were behind in this console war. Like, they needed that multiplayer tack on to have, like, to drive console sales. Sony didn't really need it because the PS4 has smashed, well, the Switch has smashed this console war, but between those two, the PlayStation easily took this one. But I think in general we're seeing a shift away from the mentality of having like divisions in the gaming world.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, look, at the end of the day, you're not really gonna pull a hardcore Microsoft gamer away from Microsoft with God of War, with Spider-Man, with Detroit. Like, it doesn't matter what you offer him, he's loyal to that machine, but he might have fans that feel that way about Sony. Like, you know, Gears of War, Forza, that doesn't matter to them because they're loyal to Sony, but why does that mean they can't play together? You're not going to lose sales of this. You know, at the end of the day, I'm more interested in first-party offerings to pull me toward a platform than I am multiplayer ones.
Yeah,
so
that way these days.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, what I'm hoping comes out of this, I would like to see sort of a synthesis of PlayStation Now and what's the Game Pass, like the Microsoft Game Pass?
Microsoft Game Pass,
which is apparently really good.
Yeah, it's good. PlayStation Now is the opposite from what I've heard, but
well, they're working on it. I did read a lot of things that, like, for E3 we're going to see like that PlayStation Now is going to be part of the backbone of the PlayStation 5. That what I would really like to see is sort of a synthesis of this. I know we're never going to get into a world where, like, we're going to get PlayStation 2 games streaming to an Xbox device because that's asking a little too much. But I feel like we might see Microsoft allow that streaming to a PlayStation console because they're letting them do it with the Switch. Like, I think it would be interesting if Microsoft announced that you could buy the Game Pass and like link it through the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because that's just going to make them money. There are going to be those people that own a PlayStation 4 that will never buy an Xbox, but if Microsoft announces this and they say, hey, you get a free month of Game Pass on us, and they link it to the console, they might like it enough to keep it, and that's free money for Microsoft right there. All you're doing is streaming your shit to their console, and they're giving you money for it.
I mean,
so
fuck, I wouldn't mind playing some of like the Forza Horizons that I've missed.
Pop that Master Chief collection up.
Yeah.
Go play some Halo 3.
Let's go play some Halo 3 on the PS5, boys. It's fucking.
That'll be the weirdest shit ever.
It means only good things for the consumer.
That's true, which is why we're never going to get it.
Exactly.
But speaking of good things for the consumer, now we're going to hop on that bird scooter. So the Oculus Quest, and I forget the exact name of the other one. I think it's called the Oculus Rift S is the new model. Both of those came out like 2 days ago. Do you know anything about these?
I mean, I've used an Oculus Rift once at a friend's house, and it was very cool, and I've got the PlayStation VR, which I haven't used in a few months. But, that's the extent of my VR experience. Very cool,
So
though.
The Rift S is the evolution of the Oculus Rift. It's replacing the older normal Oculus Rift. You know, you hook it up to the PC, do your VR thing, you're good to go. I think it has better screens. But the big one I want to talk about is the Oculus Quest. So this thing is untethered completely. It is the headset, the control units. That's it. And it
all wireless?
All wireless.
No,
it doesn't run on a
not even a power source.
The only way, I think it recharges, like rechargeable.
Huh.
The only thing that runs off of the phone, I think, is like you log into your account to send game authorizations to it, and then you can download stuff through there. And so, I have read nothing but glowing reviews of this thing.
So
like,
it's basically a head console. Like it just you stream things to it. It is the system, kind of like the Switch is the system. It downloads it to it directly, actually. There's no streaming. So you don't even need a PC for it. You just an app maybe.
So
at most.
What's really cool is previously you would need I was going to call them lighthouse units, but you use those for the Vive, not for the Rift. You would need the cameras in the corner to create your play space. Here's the cool thing about the Quest. You take the controllers and draw your play space on the ground.
That's neat. That helps so much for like people with limited space. Like,
now, you know what's really cool about this? How much do you think it costs?
We're talking about the Quest?
Yeah.
I'm going to estimate
fully wireless. You know, I think the internal memory is 64 gigs. There might be two models. I don't know exactly. Comes with both the controllers, obviously.
I'm gonna say 500. I might be lowballing it.
$400.
$400, and
$400,
and the whole thing is self-contained. You don't need a monster PC to be able to fucking do it.
You don't need a PC. Period.
That's stupid. Good.
Now that being said,
there's a downside.
There is one. No, it's not. It's more of like a side note to it. I was curious if you could find a way to run Steam library games onto the Quest.
That's true, because there are people I'm sure have a shit ton of VR games that they've bought over the last couple years.
Yeah. So the only downside to the Quest right now is it is a completely separate store. Like, games have to be developed for the Quest, but it launched with like 300 games.
Okay, that's not
like
so
a ton of fucking things.
Like, I'd like to. I would definitely like to play fucking Robo Recall.
So here's the thing: it is a version of Robo Recall. It's not the original.
Okay.
They're working on doing that, but there's an app that someone made. I think it was called Alver, like ALVR. You could download it through GitHub, and he's working on adding the functionality to the Quest so that you could wirelessly stream your Steam library stuff to the Quest. So that might require a little bit of a more beefy PC if you wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, come on. Like, fully hands-free VR, like that's, well, not hands-free, but like untethered, that's getting real close to the dream of like actual VR right there.
mean,
and the only other way to do that shit right now is with like a specialty unit through the Vive that's expensive as hell and heavy as shit. So
how much does this
I
thing
think
weigh? Considering it's got its own like power source and everything, its batteries.
I don't think it weighs any more than the normal Rift.
God, that's really cool. Like one of the reasons I haven't touched the PlayStation VR in a while, because it's kind of a bitch to set up and deal with, because it's like I gotta pay attention to my cord. I've got to kind of have it over my shoulder, or like and like trying to get the PlayStation camera to like see where I am properly and have everything positioned just so, or like if I have to kind of reach off screen, everything goes, hey, like it is a burden to deal with. Once you get it set up, it's pretty fun, but it's kind of pain in the ass to deal with. According to this
review, it's 581 grams.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear 581 what?
Grams.
Oh, grams.
It's 5% heavier than the normal Rift.
That's still not bad. Like, you might hurt some delicate necks over time, but that's fucking still. What do you want?
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find the charge time for this.
Yeah, I am kind of curious about the battery life. But I'm sure you could probably just like plug it into a wall or whatever the fuck. The way you charge it, and then just have that going while you play. But
I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But I'm very tempted. Like, I've always wanted... The closest thing I've ever had to VR was a Gear VR, like you put your Android phone into. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. And, like, the cell phone one, at first it was really neat, like, to kind of see in that sense, but it wasn't really VR. Like, you had... like very limited movement. You had like a little hand remote control that you could use to kind of see, like, can mess with things on it, but it never felt like VR. Like, I've used a Vive, I've used the Rift, and like both of those are really cool, but the prospect of going like fully hands-free with this kind of stuff, that's really
Is it
neat.
The same kind of controllers?
It's only a matter of time. I'm sorry?
Is it the same kind of controllers with the like the Rift has the, you know, with the ones with that little weird little plastic loop around your hand and everything? I really like those controllers. Like,
yeah, they're super fucking comfortable.
It's really annoying that the PlayStation VR uses fucking PlayStation 3 Move controllers. Like, it's really annoying because those fucking things don't have an analog stick, and it's horrible.
Apparently the Quest lasts about 2 to 3 hours after a full charge, depending on what you do. If you're watching media or like controlling your computer, it lasts longer. Games, you get about 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours is not the best like time, but if you can have that thing just like plugged up while you're playing.
It's not the best, but it's VR, dude. You're not supposed to be doing VR for that long.
Like I said earlier, like, what the fuck do you want? Like, it's only going to get better from here, too. Like, the Quest 2 or the Quest 1.5 or whatever, they're going to be... It's only going to get better. It's only going to, like, last longer. I don't know. It's pretty fucking exciting. We are getting closer to that fucking Ready Player One world. And then I don't ever have to... I can just work from home with my VR as I get fatter and waste away and constantly have to worry about where I'm going to get my next credits. How many virtual dicks am I going to have to suck? Going to have to get that dick-sucking peripheral. I'm thinking too much about this.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you want to live in that virtual world and you're gonna want that futuristic headset to do it, then Zach, it's almost like you're gonna have to say bye-bye to real life.
No, not like this. Not like this.
Because we are about 40 minutes into this episode, and I feel like we've avoided the elephant in the room long enough. Because on the last episode, we talked about Memento, which was a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose
To shit in my
follow
mouth is what you chose to do.
Miss Carrie Ann Moss into a lovely little indie horror film filled with twists and turns and story everywhere called The Bye Bye Man. I am going to start us off here by saying that I think I'm almost certain that The Bye Bye Man might be the worst film I've ever seen. I'm not, this is not hyperbole. This is not me exaggerating. I have seen a lot of movies in my life. I've seen a lot of shit movies in my life. For years, the remake of Rollerball was the worst film until I saw Avatar: The Last Airbender, created by M. Night Shyamalan. Blah, 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 blah,
that was pretty bad.
And then
I think Dragon Wars is still my bar of worst movie I've ever seen.
That was the worst film I ever saw. And then I watched The Bye Bye Man. And Jesus fucking Christ, this movie was so bad. This movie was so bad that the lead actress stopped her accent halfway through the film. Like, Mari, you want to talk about Bye Bye Man with us?
No.
Did she?
Okay.
Wait, did she have an accent? An accent?
Yeah. She was the British actress with an American accent. Halfway through the film, she just stopped, and like you could hear it every time she talked.
Maybe I didn't just.
So,
I don't think I caught it because
I'm going to attempt to summarize The Bye Bye Man.
It took me like 6 hours to watch this fucking movie because I kept pausing it just to go do something else. And it's an hour and a half of the film.
The Bye Bye Man is the tale of three college friends who are the worst people ever, minus the girl. She's really not that bad,
Yeah,
but the two boys are god awful people.
She was pretty bland.
Who are renting a house together, and in this house they find out that there's all manner of like evilry that's going on. This movie is so fucking bad it's hard to summarize it. Like, the movie makes so little sense in its own context that describing it is difficult, because the movie starts off in what appears to be the 1950s with a man taking a shotgun to his family and his neighbors. And by the way, this movie's PG-13, so you don't see any actual blood or anything. There's a scene where this man shoots a girl in the stomach with a shotgun. She grasps her stomach, slides down the wall. There's no blood or anything. And then when he walks past her, there's like a little strawberry jam just coming out of her belly button. And that's the only indication that she ever got shot. God, I hated this movie so fucking much. So, I don't know how to talk about the Bye Bye Man because nothing was explained in the movie. You don't ever learn what the fucking Bye Bye Man is. It's just, he's this dude in a trench coat with a fucking dog thing.
Yeah, so like
a demon dog.
The way it works is that if you say the name, the Bye Bye Man.
Don't think it, don't say it.
If you fucking say it, then then the fucking name, the Bye Bye Man, which is, by the way, fucking, they really should have workshopped it a little bit. They could have called it fucking anything, but the Bye Bye Man. Anyway, if you say that name, it works as a virus. So anyone who hears it, they will get fucking haunted by the Bye Bye Man. Like, the more you think about it, the more you get haunted, and like the closer he gets, and like he makes you see
you have
shit.
to say his name in order for him to like haunt you.
Yeah, it is a haunting that is spread verbally and that's how it works.
So
and they named it the Bye Bye Man. They could have named it
just to say this, anything. Like I said, you never learn what the fuck the Bye Bye Man is.
Yeah, was it like the fucking writer? I thought the writer thought of that the guy from the 1950s in the beginning. I thought he was like a writer and he thought of it or something.
No, not at all. He literally just discovered it.
Oh, that's right.
And that's it. It's never described what the fuck the Bye Bye Man is. But all you have to know is that it is this. I will try and quickly go through this story. These three friends rent a house, and inside this house, the there's the main character who is, I'm assuming, going to college to be a writer, because he kind of has like that I'm an English grad vibe to him or whatever. Like he writes poetry for his girlfriend. His girlfriend, I don't know what she's going to school for other than to be sick and go to greenhouses. That's what the fuck she does.
She's
and then
going to school
his
to
best
be hopefully
friend,
a better actress, because boy does she need it.
his best friend who fucking drives a Mustang in college, I guess plays baseball. I didn't know college baseball was that lucrative, but whatever. Where the fuck did they get this money to rent this big ass house?
Rich parents.
I don't know. But anyway, so they rent this house, and their first night, he finds this like a, not dresser, like a cabinet, like a side bed cabinet.
It's a nightstand.
It's a nightstand, nightstand. And he opens the nightstand, and on the inside there's this like scribbled writing in circles, like a madman wrote it.
He gets led to this by fucking golden coins.
I don't give a fuck. Just listen.
Which made no sense.
All right?
Go ahead.
He opens it up, right? Yeah, the coin's never fucking explained either. Nothing is explained, but anyway. He opens this fucking nightstand, and just in circular scribbled writing, it just says, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, over and over, over and over. And then
like a pirate of the sea was.
Yeah, then he like lifts up part of the interior drawer of this nightstand, and etched into the fucking nightstand is the Bye-Bye Man. So this was brought up in the Red Letter review, and
I gotta watch that.
I agree. When I
haven't
first
watched
saw
it
this,
yet. I need to. Oof.
So I watched the review before I saw the movie, and after seeing the movie, I agree completely. If he can't think it and he can't say it, he doesn't want people to say it. Why did he carve the goddamn name into the nightstand? This whole movie wouldn't exist if the guy in the 50s would have just been like, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it. Don't etch it into the nightstand?
But the Bye-Bye Man made him do it because it drove him crazy.
So anyway, White Boy says, like, as he's reading, just goes, the Bye-Bye Man? And that's what starts this whole fucking thing. There's a goth girl that's psychic and...
I'm sorry. Big titty goth GF?
Yeah, tries to sleep with his friend, and they both have erectile dysfunction because of the Bye-Bye Man. There's like...
And she's like psychic or some shit.
Yeah, that was the one of the funniest things in the fucking movie for me, was when he's just like, I'm sorry, that doesn't normally happen to me. And she's like, that doesn't happen to me either. And I'm like, do they both have dicks? They just couldn't get it up?
Yeah,
like, okay.
That was just hinted at.
I think she meant no one's ever not finished with her.
So, anyway, there's this psychic who, they have like a seance, and the white English grad guy thinks she's BSing, and like he hides his keys in a pot or whatever.
Elliot, because I'm looking at the IMDb.
And so they're doing the seance, and the psychic girl, I think her name was Kim.
Yes,
I don't know.
Kim.
Yeah, so Kim's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, she's picking up some bad vibes from this house, and then Elliot is like, I knew you were bullshitting. You don't know where I hid the keys. And she's like, you hid him in the pot downstairs. And he's like, you heard it. Motherfucker went downstairs into the kitchen, gently lifted this lid and put his keys in there. It's like, you were listening for it.
The ultimate skeptic.
I wanted to beat this fucker so many times upside the head. Anyway, I don't give a fuck about this story. It was bullshit. All you have to know is there's a librarian who murders her family. And the funniest scene in the fucking movie is Elliot at the very end, like, realizing how to beat the Bye-Bye Man is, like, to not give in.
Yeah.
And, like, not give in to the fear. And he's, like, in this car, like, fucking
you must have
death metal
willpower.
thrashing.
The only way
like,
to beat the Bye-Bye Man is to have will of warrior.
Yeah, like, speeding down the road to get back to his house to save his girlfriend before she accidentally gets murdered by his friend for getting possessed by the Bye-Bye Man. And he just slams into this fucking library.
Who is standing in the middle of the road because reasons.
Well, no, she was going to his house. Like, so remember when he went to the library and he found the article that the guy wrote about the Bye-Bye Man?
Yeah.
So she kept saying the Bye-Bye Man. So by saying it, she had become possessed. There was that scene where she killed her family.
Yeah.
So she was like, I'm going to come to your house. What I want to know is, why the fuck was she walking in the opposite direction down the road?
How did she know where he lived?
He has a library card.
Yeah, but still.
She could have looked up his account and known where he lived. He's a student.
It's just
Librarians have too much power.
The way that he just kind of casually brushes this off is like, sure.
Look, the librarian knowing where the fuck this douchebag lived is less an important question to me than who the fuck the Bye-Bye Man was in the first place.
and like, oh my god. So they broke this.
Can we talk about the fact they had a party? And I mean like a full-on college kegger with like a 9-year-old girl there just wandering around.
The fucking...
Like...
There was no reason.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
And like they show the Bye-Bye, like they show him fairly early too. They don't there's no mystique to the Bye-Bye Man. It's just a dude in a fucking long ass coat and hood and some biker boots, and
with a long creepy finger.
Yeah, he's got some bad fingernails, and he's got a little bit of like a scar on his face or whatever. Like he's not a pretty man, but he's far from like terrifying, you know. They don't fucking have him back in the shadows all that much like fucking Babadook, but...
I mentioned this to Mari. One of the things that pissed me off the most about that movie was the robe hanging on the wall in their bedroom. Mm-hmm. Like, they purposefully hung that robe to make it seem like someone was in it, because robes don't naturally fall with their arms hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't somebody look at that robe and just go, something about that doesn't seem right?
Who put that robe there? Oh, well.
Oh my god, it's fucking garbage fire of a movie. Like, so the fucking scene where he takes the nightstand outside and like you're thinking he's gonna destroy it, like shatter it,
burn it, he's
burn it. No,
it.
He throws it in a fucking ditch behind the house, right? Like,
now it's gone forever.
This is the one physical piece of material left that is like connecting like the Bye-Bye Man to the world, basically, other than the fucking reports in the library, which he was crossing it out with pen, and the whole time I'm just like, you can clearly still read what's under that. Like,
why did you throw your gun away? We have more bullets.
Yeah, if anything, him crossing out, he redacted the Mueller report of the Bye-Bye Man, Zach. Like, him crossing that stuff out makes you want to know more what's under that. He should have just left it alone. Nobody would have ever went looking for that fucking report if he would have destroyed the nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
Burn it?
If he would have destroyed the nightstand, nobody would have ever looked for that report again.
Josh. He threw it like 20 feet away. It was a good throw.
It wasn't a good throw because the 9-year-old girl found it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. It's just fucking... I hate this movie so fucking much. I did a terrible job of summarizing this because there really is no summary for this movie.
Yeah.
So the kids rent the house. He discovers the nightstand, says Bye-Bye Man, possesses him, then possesses his friends. Shit goes south. Goth girl jumps in front of a train and
accused of murder.
Yeah, he gets accused of murder with no sort of due process whatsoever.
None. Doesn't even have to go to jail. It's like, all right, keeping our eye. Trinity tells him that, you know, keeps his eye on you. You know, we're watching you, says Trinity.
So, no sort of due process. He starts to go and research the Bye-Bye Man, finds out that there was one article that was never published, but it was written by this reporter in the 50s, goes and finds the article, and you find out that this reporter was the person we saw in the beginning of the movie who was taking the shotgun to his family and his neighbors. He goes to visit his wife because somehow she's still alive, so she never got infected by the Bye-Bye Man. And he goes to talk to her and finds out that, like, he never said it to her, she never said it. And there's this whole scene where, like, Elliot realizes that to beat the Bye-Bye Man, you need to not be afraid of him. It's fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. You take away Freddy's power by not believing in him. You take away the Bye-Bye Man's power by not believing in him. And that's it. He goes home.
Except for it doesn't
There's a
make
scene
sense
where
because he's like, I figured out how to beat you. Take that. Except for I still believe in you, but I don't believe what you're showing me, even though I know you're there. Fuck you.
Yeah, I learned how to beat you. I don't believe in you. But as soon as I get home and see my best friend nailing my girlfriend from behind and giving me that American Psycho thumbs up doggy style, I totally believe in the Bye-Bye Man again. And then I shank my girlfriend. Like, oh my Christ in heaven. There's really nothing else to say about this movie. I would recommend watching The Bye-Bye Man if you enjoy watching train wrecks of movies.
It's a hate watch.
Like if you enjoy bad films, this isn't even a good bad film. This is a bad film.
God.
Like, I'm not sorry that I picked this at all,
But you
because
should
you gotta work through it. But
Let's see.
I don't understand how this movie got greenlit other than as a tax write-off.
Its budget. Its budget was IMDb estimates the budget at $7,400,000.
And it made like 20.
Its opening weekend was
It was
13
a Mad
million
Libs
worldwide.
of horror films.
Yeah, so it made its money back. Mari, what's your final thought on the Bye-Bye Man?
It was a Mad Libs of horror films. Someone said, fill in my blanks so I can create this horror film, and we're going to make it PG-13 so teenagers come to see it. And that's it. Somebody got away with grand larceny.
I will say this. There was one scene in the movie that I kind of liked. It was a little creepy.
Was it the bad CG dog?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it is and it isn't, but follow me. When he's laying in bed and he looks at that hole, like the little tiny door, and you just see the gold eyes there.
Yeah.
Like looking. Yeah, that was a little fucking creepy at first. I was like, okay, that's how you do like subtle horror. And then immediately it just goes away because it's the Bye-Bye Man walking across the room like, can I interest you in vacuums? Like, what the fuck?
That truly
Anyway,
was
this movie was fucking terrible.
The Bye-Bye Man.
It was. And on that note, I would like to move on to figure out what our next movie is. So, Zach, if you would kindly let us know.
You didn't give me a whole lot to work with because these are a whole lot of
No, I didn't. This is what you get for giving me fucking Deep Star 6.
Touche. But I did find one thing. Do you remember the brother, Virgil?
Yes.
Played by Michael True.
I knew you were going to go with him because he's
he's
really
the only
the
one
only
with
other
any
person
shit.
that's been in things.
Other than Carrie Ann Moss, like he's the only other person who's been in something.
Yep.
Other than that wasn't a TV show. And since it's been on my Netflix queue for fucking months, actually more like years, we're gonna watch 2016's Hush. We're gonna keep the fucking bad horror movies going.
Now we're gonna watch Hush. That's our next movie.
It
okay.
is.
So it is on Netflix. You confirm this, right?
At least it. I mean, I haven't looked in a long time. I can look real quick.
Nah, it's fine. We can look it up another time. But I think it's time that we say bye-bye to this episode.
Hush is the next one.
All right. And hopefully in the next episode we're probably going to see Aladdin tomorrow. I already saw John Wick. We're waiting for Zach to potentially see it so we can discuss that.
Hush is still on here. Just took a quick look.
Cool.
And it's 10 minutes shorter than the Bye-Bye Man. So if it sucks, at least it's a little shorter.
I just like how we're going from bye-bye to Hush. But anyway, yeah, we're going to end this one here. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Zach, do your thing.
Bye-Bye Man.
Mari, do your thing.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all of you are doing the bye-bye joke, so I'm just going to say fuck off. I hated that movie.
Bye.
See you later.